Dragon's Curse is the TurboGrafx version of Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap, originally released for the Sega Master System. But just like with Monster Lair or Dynastic Hero, the title and references to the Wonder Boy series were dropped. Luckily, Hudson Soft did a great job transferring this to TurboChip, and it makes for a really fun and charming little game. In this version, you play as the handsome Hugh-Man. Why, thank you. And are sadly locked up in the eerie Dragon Castle. The good news? You managed to escape. In fact, the game begins at this very spot as you control Hugh-Man through a maze/castle, hacking and slashing away, searching for your captor, the horrible Mecha Dragon. You are seemingly invincible here and super powerful. Oh yeah, the greatest gamer of all time. Bam! Then, sadly, you are cursed and turned into an ugly lizard man, barely escape a crumbling castle, and power down, losing 7 hearts. Here is where the actual quest begins. Your only hope in returning to Hugh-Man form is to defeat the 5 dragons scattered around the land and find the magic Salamander Cross. You'll visit the jungle, the desert, the sea, and more. Your hub is basically a village in the middle of it all, where you can explore, save the game using passwords or the internal memory, and eventually access new areas. One of the main gimmicks of Dragon's Curse is your ability to morph into 5 different creatures, all of whom have unique attributes. You obtain a new form after defeating a boss dragon. Obviously, the fire-breathing Lizard Man is first. Then you have Mouse Man, who can climb walls and ceilings, get into small places, and he's just really cool. Piranha Man, who can swim freely, reaching things underwater. Tiger Man, who has a super awesome sword and looks tough. And finally, Hawk Man, who flies. Big surprise. This is a great little gimmick, and finding the transformation rooms, because you cannot morph on your own, is one of the game's strategies. Enemies all around who just don't like you at all include snakes, clouds with sunglasses, ninjas, atomic blueberries that just won't die, and Pac-Man things with Halloween witch hats on. Items can be collected after defeating some of these enemies or finding the very generous red treasure chests. Look at that! Gold allows you to upgrade armor and weapons in shops along the way, heal at the hospital, buy medicine vials, etc. Special weapons include fireballs, tornadoes, boomerangs, thunder or screen flash, and arrows. You can also snag keys to open new areas, heart containers, small hearts, and even charisma points, so the shopkeepers will eventually feel comfortable enough to sell you stuff. There are a lot of items to equip and swap around, adding another bit of strategy. Dragon's Curse has like a mini Metroidvania feel in its execution. It is somewhat non-linear, and there are mazes and specific items to find in order to progress. You got hidden doors, hidden blocks. Oh, that's just cruel. Sometimes walking down to areas you would think are not walkable is the answer. In this door, out this door, up this spring. Stop it. Equipping the correct item can also help. And in the end, you have the multiple boss dragons to deal with. Losing all hearts equals death, and the game returns you to the main hub. If you choose continue, you could earn a free medicine vial, but I never get lucky. After a boss or major area, you'll find a return door, warping you back to the hub. And thank God, so take advantage of this and save often. The graphics are very cartoony, colorful, nicely detailed, and they just work perfectly. With that said, there isn't anything overly flashy or eye-catching necessarily, but I have always found it an immensely pleasing game to look at with some really fun personality in the characters and enemies. The music is really good, and some of the tunes are quite toe-tapping. It matches the mood of the game nicely. The sound effects also do quite well with pleasing slashes, hits, and I love that heart refill sound. Controlling HuCard, Human, for the most part is fluid, aside from being a tad slippery. Obviously, the directional pad moves him about the screen, and depending on which character is used, you can often crouch, swim, or fly. Button 1 jumps and performs other character movements, and Button 2 attacks. Run brings up the status screen for selecting items. To utilize a special weapon, you have to press down and then the jump button, which is a little bizarre if you don't know the process. Overall, it's a pretty smooth and solid control package. I wanted to look at this game as a standalone title because, well, that's what it is on the TurboGrafx. And personally, I never heard of Wonder Boy as a kid, so it was an original title to me when I rented Dragon's Curse so many years ago. So whether you find the changes in graphics and sound here to be improvements, or like the Master System original better, well, that's all up to you. But as a standalone game, I think it all works great, and I really love this one. It has great replay value, rarely following anything linear, and allowing you to explore areas thoroughly. The game utilizes its playable characters very well, even giving each one a specific purpose in the final area. Now, some parts are a tad cryptic, but the game isn't super long or necessarily hard, and the grinding at times can get old. But I have to say, as a whole, all of the stuff the game does really well combined together to create a great little title that can oftentimes be quite addicting. Now, what am I supposed to do? Ah, of course there's a door there. Silly game. Dragon's Curse is a ton of fun. It is non-linear, has a great look, and a lot of weapons and items are there to mess around with. In the end, definitely pick this up, if anything, to help Human become human again. Human again, only human again. Oh, damn you, Disney.